Some called him a genius, some called him a tyrant, but everyone agreed. Napoleon Bonaparte changed the world forever. From a poor Corsican boy to the Emperor of France, Napoleon rose higher than anyone could imagine, only to crash in one of the most dramatic downfalls in history. This is the story of the rise and fall of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica. He wasn't born into riches, but he had ambition burning inside him. At just 9 years old, he went to military school in France. Quiet, serious, and brilliant at mathematics, Napoleon soon showed his talent as a soldier. By the time he was in his 20s, the French Revolution had shaken Europe, and Napoleon saw his chance to rise. In 1796, Napoleon was given command of the French army in Italy. What followed shocked the world. With bold strategies and lightning attacks, he defeated much larger armies. His victories made him a national hero. By 1799, France was unstable, with weak leadership. Napoleon seized the moment, staged a coup, and at just 30 years old, he became the first consul of France. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France. Not the Pope, not the Church, but Napoleon himself placed the crown on his head. It was a message to the world. His power came from no one but himself. Under his rule, France became the most powerful nation in Europe. Napoleon reformed laws, built schools, improved the economy, and spread his Napoleonic code across the continent. But most of all, he conquered. From Spain to Austria, from Italy to Poland, Europe trembled before his armies. But ambition has no limits. In 1812, Napoleon made his greatest mistake, invading Russia with more than 600,000 soldiers. At first, the French army pushed forward, but the Russians refused to fight a big battle. Instead, they burned their own cities, food, and supplies. By the time winter came, Napoleon's army was starving, freezing, and broken. Only about 100,000 soldiers made it back. It was the beginning of the end. After Russia, Napoleon's enemies united. Britain, Prussia, Austria, and Russia formed a powerful alliance. In 1814, Paris itself was invaded. Napoleon was forced to give up the throne and was exiled to the island of Elba. But Napoleon was not finished. In 1815, he escaped, returned to France, and gathered an army. For 100 days, Europe held its breath. Napoleon was back. It all ended at the Battle of Waterloo, where his army was finally defeated by the Duke of Wellington. This time there was no escape. Napoleon was exiled once again, but this time to the remote island of St. Helena, in the Atlantic Ocean. Far away from Europe, he lived the rest of his life like a prisoner, guarded by British soldiers. He spent his days dictating his memoirs, rewriting his story, and dreaming of the glory he once had. In 1821, Napoleon Bonaparte died at the age of 51. His last words were said to be, "France, the army, Josephine." From a small island boy to the Emperor of France, Napoleon Bonaparte's journey was one of history's greatest stories. He was a conqueror, a reformer, a genius, and also a man whose ambition led to his downfall. Was Napoleon a hero who modernized Europe, or a tyrant who brought endless war? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to TimeLens, where history's most powerful stories come alive.